Today we are going to continue with Module 5, Association Rule Mining. We have got two algorithms for finding frequent item sets in association rule mining. The first one is Apriori Algorithm. Apriori Algorithms finds frequent item sets by confined candidate generation. അപ്പം അപ്രയറി അൽഗോറിതം യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ ഫ്രീക്വൻറ്റ് ഐറ്റം സെറ്റ്സ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത് ആദ്യം കാൻഡിഡേറ്റ്സിനെ ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. ഓൾ ദോസ് കാൻഡിഡേറ്റ്സ് വിച്ച് ആർ മൈറ്റ് ബി ഫ്രീക്വൻറ്റ്, ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ മിനിമം സപ്പോർട്ട്. എന്നിട്ട് ഈ ഫ്രീക്വൻറ്റ് ഐറ്റം സെറ്റ്സിൽ നിന്നും ആവശ്യമുള്ളതിനെ മാത്രം കീപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് ബാക്കിയുള്ളതിനെ കളയും. എന്നിട്ട് അതിൽ നിന്നും അടുത്ത സെറ്റിനെ കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. Apriori algorithm has got its name because it uses prior knowledge to find the frequent item sets. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അപ്രയോറി എന്നുള്ള പേര് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. Now the first step എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് all frequent item sets are having two steps. The first step is to find the frequent item sets. Find all frequent item sets. Once we have found all frequent item sets, then we eliminate those item sets which cannot be frequent, that means which does not satisfy the minimum support. അപ്പോൾ മിനിമം സപ്പോർട്ട് ഇല്ലാത്ത ഐറ്റം സെറ്റ്സിനെ നമ്മൾ എലിമിനേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. അപ്പോൾ ബാക്കിയുള്ളത് ഫ്രീക്വൻ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും. ഹോൾ സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് ഐറ്റം സെറ്റ്സ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട. ഇനി ആദ്യം കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത് L1 ഫ്രീക്വൻറ്റ് 1 ഐറ്റം സെറ്റ്സിനെയാണ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്. L1ൻ്റെ അകത്ത് ഒരു എലമെൻ്റ് ഉള്ള ഐറ്റം സെറ്റ്സ് മാത്രമായിരിക്കും ഉണ്ടാവുക. എന്നിട്ട് ഈ L1ൽ നിന്നും ഫ്രീക്വൻ്റ് ഉള്ള എലമെൻറ്റ്സിനെ മാത്രം കീപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിൽ നിന്നും നമ്മൾ L2 കണ്ടുപിടിക്കും. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ അകത്തെ ഫ്രീക്വൻറ്റ് മാത്രം കീപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിൽ നിന്നും L3 കണ്ടുപിടിക്കും. ഇറ്റ് കീപ്സ് കണ്ടിന്യൂയിങ് അൺടിൽ ദ L becomes empty. എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ there are no item sets which are frequent. Until that state we keep continuing this calculation. Now let me show you an example of L1 item sets. Here you can see I have got an example for L1. L1 has got 3 item sets, each of which are 1 element each. So we have got I1, which is a single element, that is one item set. I2, a single element, which is again another item set, and this is another item set. Now either frequent aano alliyo ennallathu will be determined by what is the support for each of these sets. That we will look at with an example. Now I'm just showing you how to calculate L1. Ini this L1 is going to be joined with L1 itself. So the next operation is L1 join L2. Now when we join L1 with L1, we get L2. So here we want to make 2 element item sets. So ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഇത് എപ്പോഴും lexicographical orderലായിരിക്കും. So I1, I2, I3. I1 is lesser than I2. I2 is lesser than I3. So it is always in some lexicographical order. Lexicographic order. Okay, so if you see, I'm not going to join I2 to I1. I will be joining from I1 to I2. So this is what I do. Ni L2 join ചെയ്ത് ഈ I1നെ I2ലേക്കും join ചെയ്യും, I3ലേക്കും join. So I have got 2 item sets over here. We have got I1 I2 and I1 I3. And then what is left? തിരിച്ച് ഞാൻ join ചെയ്യത്തില്ല. So I2നെ ഇനി I3ലേക്ക് join ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ all possible item sets have been joined. So we have got I1 I2, I1 I3, I2 I3 in L2. Okay, ഇനി L3 കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇതേപോലെ തന്നെ ഇതിനെ ഇങ്ങോട്ടും ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യണം, ഇതിനെ ഇങ്ങോട്ടും ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ നോക്കേണ്ടത്. There is another rule also. I will show you the properties which needs to be followed. Okay, so over here again ഇതിനെ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇതിനിങ്ങനെ L3 കിട്ടും. Okay, now another rule which needs to be, the a priori algorithm is based on a priori property. The a priori property simply states that all non-empty subsets of a frequent item set must also be frequent. എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ if I have found out from my a priori algorithm that I have got a frequent item set I1, I2, I5. Say that this is a frequent item set. I found out this frequent item set from my a priori algorithm. Then all non-empty subsets of this frequent item set will also be frequent. So which are the non-empty item sets? We will have I1, I2. We will have I1, I5. We will have I2, I5. We will have I1, I2, I5. All these 6 elements are the non-empty frequent or non-empty item sets of this frequent item set. So the a priori algorithm states that all these sets will also be frequent. So if this is frequent, then all of this is also frequent. Now, this a priori property is based on the anti-monotonicity property. Anti-monotonicity property. Not anti-monotonicity, it is anti-monotonicity property. It simply states that if a set cannot pass a test, if any particular set cannot pass a test, then all of its supersets will also fail the same test. For example, if I am saying that I1, I2 is not frequent, then in that case, I1, I2, I3 or I1, I2, I5 or anything added to I1, I2 cannot be frequent. That is the anti-monotonicity test. Anti-monotonicity test. If any set is not frequent, then adding any element to this particular set will not make this set frequent. No supersets will be frequent. So, supersets are also not frequent. Two supersets are also not frequent. That is our anti-monotonicity set and the test. And this anti-monotonicity test, this a priori property is a type of anti-monotonicity property. That is what is being implied over here. We have got this property is a type of anti-monotonicity property. Now we are going to look at the actual algorithm. The algorithm is based on 2 steps. Sorry, this is not a priori property. This is a priori algorithm steps. It's based on a 2-process step. The first step is join and the second step is prune. The join step is what I showed you earlier, where we are getting L1, we are taking L1 and then from L1 we are getting L2, from L2 we are getting L3, etc. Now in this join property also we have got a rule that needs to be followed. If I want to join, if I want to join L of k minus 1 to L of k minus 1, then the elements in, say that there are 2 elements in L of k. This is one set and this is another set. If I want to join these 2 sets, then all the elements L1, 1 must be equal to L2, 1, comma L1, 2 must be equal to L2, 2, etc. till L of, we are trying to find L from L of k minus 1, we are trying to find L of k. So till L of k minus 2, there is 1k minus 2 and 2k minus 2, they must be equal. Only the last element must be different, and it must be, the L1 element must be less than the L2 element. For example, say that I have got L2 is equal to I1 comma I2, I1 comma I3 and I2 comma I4. Say this is an example, and I want to join L2 with L2 itself to give me L3. I can join I1, I2 and I1, I3 because only this element is different. These two elements are the same. Can I join I1, I2 and I2, I4? Is it possible to join I1, I2 and I2, I4? It's not, because this is not the only element which is different. This is also different. So these two elements cannot be joined. So when I join L1, L2 with L2, if I join L2 with L2, I will only have I1 comma I2 comma I3. There will not be any other elements inside this, because this does not satisfy the join property. Okay. So to find L of k, a set of k frequent item sets, we join L of k minus 1 with itself, and this set of candidates is generated. The next step is the prune step. Prune step is very simple. From our example, we will check, supposing I want to prune this, I will check what is the support for this particular set. Then I will check what is the support for this particular set. Then I will check what is the support for this particular set. And I have already been given a minimum support. Supposing it is 2. If minimum support is 2, then anything less than 2 will be pruned out. It will be cut off. It will be eliminated. Only those elements which have got bigger support than 2 will be kept. That is our prune step. Now let's look at an example. Remember that the minimum support is 2. Here in this example we have got, this is a transaction data for all electronics branch. We've always been doing examples with all electronics. So you can see that this is for all electronics branch. We have got 9 transactions, T100 to T900. There are 9 transactions, and in each transaction we have got a set of items which have been bought together in that particular transaction. Now the first step is to find L1, that is one frequent item sets. So look over here. What are the elements that we have got? What are the elements that we have got in our item sets? If you look over here, you can see that we have got I1, we have got I2, we have got I3, I4, I5, and there is nothing else. It's only I1 to I5. So L1 will contain all of these elements, I1 to I5. So if you look over here, you can see that we have generated the candidate set C1 of all single element item sets, I1, I2, I3, I4, I5. Now let's look how this support count has come. Look at these transactions. In these transactions you can see that I1 occurs 6 times. Here there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is why we have got the support count 6. In the same way, I2, if you count, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. we have got 7 times I2 in all of these transactions. Similarly, we will find for I3, I4 and I5. So each of them, if you count, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for I3, 4, 1, 2 for 4 and 5, 1, 2. So we've got 6, 7, 6, 2, 2. Now our minimum support is given over here as 2. So in that case, in this particular step, there is nothing to eliminate. There is no pruning to be done. So L1 will be this itself. L1 is L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 with all of these elements. All of them have got higher than 2 support. Now the next step is to combine I1, I2, I3, I4 and I5. So as I told you earlier, I1, you're not going to combine from down to top. We're going to combine from top to bottom. So if I have got I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, I'll be combining I1 with I2, I3, I4 and I5. So look, here you can see we have got I1, I2, I1, I3, I1, I4, I1, I5. Similarly, we have got I2, I3, I2, I4, I2, I5. We have got I3, I4, I3, I5 and last I4, I5. So we've got the combination of all elements which are now 2 item sets. In this 2 item sets, again we need to find out the combination, the support count. Now let's come back to the table. In this table, in the first, we have got the first item set is I1, I2. So I1, I2. Which are the items in which we have got I1, I2 together? If you look over here, we have got I1, I2 over here. So once, then we have I1, I2 over here twice. Then we have got I1, I2 over here thrice. I1, I2 over here 4 times. So I1, I2 is there. The support is 4. Now what about I1, I3? If you look at I1, I3, we have got here, we've got an I1, I3, 1. Here we've got an I1, I3, 2. Here we've got an I1, I3, 3. Here we've got an I1, I3, 4. So in the case of I1, I3 also our support is 4. What about I1, I4? If you look at I1, I4, we do not have I4 in the first transaction. We do not I1 over here. So here I1, I4, 1. Okay. Then is there anywhere else where I1 and I4 comes together? Nowhere. So here our support for I1, I4 is 1. Continue doing this and you will find that these are the support count for each of the 2 item sets. So for the elements in L2, only a few elements satisfy minimum support. So which are the elements that we can eliminate? We can prune I1, I4 because it is minimum. It is less than the minimum support. Next, we can prune I3, I4, I3, I5 and I4, I5. So all these 4 elements are pruned off. And then we have L2 has got only those elements which have got minimum support. We continue to do this till all this is combined. Now if you look over here, you will see that in all of these cases we could combine everything together. Over here we combined I1, I2, I3, we combined in this way. Here if you see, if you want to combine as 3 item sets, I1, I2, I3 will be one set. Similarly I1, I2, I5 will be one set. Similarly I1, I3, I5 will be one set. But we cannot join I1, I2, I2, I3. The first part is not same. But we can join I2, I3 and I4. Similarly I2, I3 and I5 and I2, I4 and I5. So if you look at this combination, we will have 6 possible combinations because this part should be equal. Only then we can do a combination. So these 3 will be combined together and these 3 can be combined together to give 3 item sets. Let's look at that. We have got I1, I2, we have I1, I3, we have I1, I5. Only these three have got the first element common. So these are the only three which we can combine. So we will combine this and we'll combine this and we'll combine this. From this we will get I1, I2, I3, I1, I2, I5 and I1, I3, I5. Similarly, we have I2, I3, I2, I4, I2, I5. These also will be combined in this same manner and we will have I2, I3, I4, I2, I3, I5 and I2, I4, I5. So these are the 6 sets that will be in C3. In C3. Now next step is find the support. Do we have support for all of these sets? So if we look at the table, over here, for the first set I1, I2, I3, do we have support? There is no I1, I2, I3 here, no I1, I2, I3 here. Here we have got an I1, I2, I3 and here also we have got an I1, I2, I3. So the support for I1, I2, I3 is 2. Okay. Now let's look at I1, I2, I5. I1, I2, I5 we have got one over here and again one over here. So that also has got support 2. But if you look at I1, I3, I5, we have got an I1, I3, I5 here. It has got only support 1. So this will have only 1 and this will be removed in the prune stage. Now if you look at all of these sets, these will all be removed in the prune stage. So we are remaining with only these two in L3. So in this way, we have got L3 is equal to I1, I2, I3, I1, I2 and I5 with support 2. Now if you combine this, you will get both I1 and I2 is common in this set. So the only possibility is I1, I2, I3, I5. And if you look at your table, you will see that the support is 1. So L4 is null. There is nothing in L4 since the minimum support is not satisfied. So now we have got that the frequent item sets are I1, I2, I3 and I1, I2, I5. Now the next step is how to generate frequent item sets from a how to generate association rules from an item set, frequent item set. Now we have come to the conclusion that one of our frequent item sets are I1, I2 and I5. What we need to do is generate all the non-empty subsets of X. So as I told you earlier, these are the non-empty subsets of X. I1, I2, I1, I5, I2, I5, I1, I2, I5. And since they have got 3 elements, the association rule will be whatever is left over. So I1, I2, left over is I5. So this is one association rule. This I2 is not included. So I2, here I1, here I2, I5, here I1, I5 and here I1, I2. These are the association rules. Now it is very simple. All you need to do is check whether in the table do you have support for these rules. Okay. So if you look at I1, I2 tends to I5, check whether how many of these transactions has got I1, I2 and I5 in it. So I1, the first one has got I1, I2, I5 and the second one has also got I1, I2, I5. Okay, so over here there are 2. So here the support for this rule is 2 out of, how many have got I1, I2 only? This has got I1, I2, this has got I1, I2, this one has got I1, I2, this one has got I1, I2. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 2 out of 4 which contains I1, I2 has also got I5. So that is 50% of confidence. Okay. So similarly, you will be calculating the confidence of each and every one of these rules. Once you calculate the confidence of each and every one of these rules, since we have been given that the minimum confidence threshold is 70%, everything, see now this is only 50%, so this rule will not hold. It's not a strong rule, so it will be eliminated. Only those rules which has got 70 or above confidence will be kept in our association rules. Now that's it for today. Thank you.